All right. Good morning. Try and get my camera set up there. All right. Happy Friday to everybody. How is everybody doing? All right. Good. Okay. So today, April 23rd, 2021. My name is Jared. This is Engineering the Markets. Let's go ahead and get into it. So starting off with our SPY, we're performing on the daily a bit of a balance area as the market has shown slight pullback from its recent move to all-time highs. We saw a little bit of a bounce. And when we looked at some more aggressive moving averages, we saw that there was a bit of respect off of something like the 12 moving average exponential, at which point yesterday's session, it did look like we were starting to move higher until we got a news catalyst. Now, this news catalyst overall is being digested by the market. Some of that is going to be reflected in the price, and some of it may be reflected in the volatility of the market, the ability for the market to essentially dictate its risk level and its risk tolerance through price action exploration over time. But from the perspective of the SPY, we are still within a daily balance zone, and we have about 2 to 3 days worth of balance that the market has not shown a willingness to move away from yet. So we're in a little bit of a consolidation, and overall today we're going to see, is the market going to continue to price in the news that it got yesterday? So SPY is technically still holding the 12. There has not been a loss of this more aggressive moving average. As we get down to our 4-hour, I'll just reduce it down to the 20, 50, 200. We are seeing a bit of a cross of the 20 and 50 on the 4-hour time frame. But what's notable is that throughout the selling yesterday, we haven't really lost any significant levels. So overall, the structure here is more of a range. And right now, market is likely going to try and decide, is this area of value significant, or do I need to move lower away from this area of value to a lower price level? And when we look at the 1-hour, when we pull up our volume profile, we can see what balance looks like inside of the volume profile, where you have these larger than normal shelves of where price action has been over time. Just waiting for my pin tool to come up. And we have some notable marks right around 415. We saw that in some of the price action that occurred on Monday. This area here, there's a lot of respect of these ranges in the Monday session. We lost them, and we formed this shelf here, probably around 411 to 411.50. Another bit of balance in the market, and then we moved higher from that to retest this upper area, once again coming back down to retest the lower area with yesterday's news. So you can see how the market is simply ping-ponging back and forth between zones of value. And if we get into this middle area, which has less, we tend to have more of a trend. So consolidation, balance, value being established, moving away from that, you can see more of trending action. And that can be seen on very short time frames and on larger time frames. Now, if the market were to lose this area today, we have this pocket here, and this is the one that we've been most interested in because it'll bring us down to a significant zone where the market did consolidate for multiple sessions. That's going to be this zone here. And we'll essentially be starting off by seeing how the market reacts at the top of that range before we get into it falling into the range or even testing the lower end of the range. So As it is Friday, we do expect a little bit of volatility crush with some of the option series starting to close and people starting to roll their option contracts into future series. And usually that dictates a little bit of a volatility crush. We'll see if that has any impact today, as there is a catalyst looming overhead within the market. Looking at our Qs, bringing up the daily, we can see that the 12 is starting to essentially roll over in the Qs. And we did get some bearish volume as of yesterday. Excuse me. So overall, this structure is starting to fall apart. We did close below the 12, not significantly, and we're still in balance within regards to the price levels. But overall, Qs are looking like they're taking a little bit more of a brunt of the hit, as they have not reacted the same exact way as the SPY has reacted. Looking at our 4-hour coming down, we can see that similar to the SPY, the Qs are stuck within a range. There's a bit of a resistance zone of the range around 339.70 and a little bit of a support zone around 334. This market is essentially ping-ponging back and forth, and we can see that whenever we get down to our volume profile and we look at lower time frames. There's not as much of volume shelf to mark, but we do see we have a little bit of a shelf here, and then we have a larger shelf here. So the market in this range is showing that this area is significant as market participants are interacting here, and there's a lot of balance being placed. If we move away from that, we have this pocket, and then we have that similar shelf at roughly 331.50, which is going to be the VA high of the 30-day 1-hour time frame. So structure is the same. Because we haven't lost any key levels, we're simply marking off where we expect this market to go if a key level is lost. Now, if it is not, we are stuck in a range, and the idea of a range is that if you cannot break through the low, you often will go to back test the high, and vice versa. You will simply go back and forth until that range is broken, at which point we'll look for the next stopping point in the range, or sorry, within the price levels. So overall, structurally, we're just kind of in a holding pattern, and we're going to see once again today, can we get a breakthrough of some of these levels? I'm going to load up the IWM. You'll see that most of the moving averages on the daily are a bit congested, so there's really no directionality that we can sort of anticipate with regards to these moving averages. They are pretty much all flat. IWM remains a bit choppy. We did see a nice reaction from low to high, basically an engulfing structure. After the market did look like it wanted to sell off, we lost our bull flag pattern, and we started to lose our moving averages on the daily. They were able to recover, and now we're once again sort of sitting back where we came from with very little in terms of momentum in either direction. Typically, you will see during times of volatility that the daily ranges may expand, and you'll get a lot of this price action where there's not really one direction that's dominant. You'll have up days, you'll have down days, and for the most part, you'll kind of stay where you are, albeit with a lot of volatility in between, a lot of range. So if we load up our 20/5200, we can see just that that general chop on this time frame as well. There's not a lot of directionality we can dictate from here. And if we go to our 30-day, look at where the value sits. Once again, we are back at an area that most would consider VPOC. Regardless of your time frame, anywhere from about 220 to 222 is VPOC over the past month, 3 months, 30 days, 1 hour. It really doesn't matter the time frame. This is why IWM has been really challenging to analyze, because we haven't really moved from value. Every time we try to, we always come back. So those low to high, high to low theses of we get far away from value, market pulls it back. Get too far below value, market pulls it back. Those have been playing out well in IWM. And every time we see a little bit of a hint of maybe a final push away from value, it ends up coming right back. So challenging market overall. There are some standouts in this market in the actual stocks comprising the IWM, but overall, just the general index is a bit choppy. So during yesterday's session, we did see a reaction amidst the news catalyst that came out. Did we see volatility really jump? Overall, we did see a bit of a spike. We did clear some recent highs, but we didn't close above them. So there is an interest in short-term volatility. We did see a short-term spike in the VIX. And whether or not this continues, I would say that structurally, we're once again in a little bit of a balance range. There hasn't been a clear breakout, nor has there been a clear breakdown. And right now we are simply kind of scouting this low in the VIX, expecting the market to get a bit more volatile in the days to come. Did we see a reaction in the dollar? From my perspective, not really. We saw a little bit of a bid higher after multi-day, call it multi-week sell-off. Little bit of a bounce in a known area of support from the past. And then during this morning session, it looks like the dollar is starting to fade. So are people rushing to the dollar amidst this catalyst? So far, no. Load this. Are we seeing bonds starting to bid higher? Short term, yes. We saw a breakout of this ascending triangle near a weekly support zone around the 200. This market has held so far. We have not sold back into this range. And in fact, on that gap up, we pulled back to backtest the flat top resistance of this pattern. And so far, we have been bidding higher ever since. So are bonds starting to look like an area of interest? I would say that short term, yes. We are seeing bonds start to bid slightly higher. This is facilitated by some of the decline in the 10-year and 20-year interest rates. Notable reactions last week. There was a reason for that reaction. I'm still actually learning the complexities of it. And then we do see a little bit of balance here, but overall there hasn't been a bid higher. And if we look at our weekly, we can see that this structure could potentially fall back much further to a known area of support. And that would be closer to about 12.5 to 13. And this is purely from a technical standpoint. There are other economic reasons for this to potentially be bid higher short term, but overall the structure here is one of selling and decline. So is there a lot of fear based on this catalyst? I would say that short term we have not seen it. VIX hasn't really reacted outside of the one-day spike. Dollar hasn't been bid higher, and bonds, although being bid higher at the moment, have been doing so for the past week, if not a couple of weeks. So in these markets, we want to always take perspective of, did the market react quickly to a catalyst? Short term, yes. We did see that intraday with the sell-off. Has the market lost any key levels? At this time, not yet. Is the market still willing to bid up volatility, go back to cash, or any interest in bonds, any sort of a risk-off assessment throughout some of these products. So far, not really. Maybe a little bit of a bid in bonds, but we did see that prior to this news being announced. So we will continue to watch this and see as the market either pulls back more from these higher elevated ranges. Are we losing key levels, and are we doing it on fear? Are we selling off across the board? Or are we holding up here and finding short-term areas of support, allowing the market to break through key levels to the upside and ultimately to target higher prices? We have to keep in mind that we're still in a very strong uptrend. Weekly, daily, monthly, everything is still in a bullish context, and therefore we need to play those probabilities until those probabilities fail. And so far they have not failed. So we will continue to scout, looking for support and looking for reactions off of support to lead us to higher prices until that thesis falls apart. So final item that I wanted to look at, we did see a reaction in the crypto market. And when I'm looking at crypto, I'll go ahead and I'll just facilitate what the current price is. I'll start off with our daily. So on the daily, what I have drawn is the 9 and the 26 exponential moving averages. These two exponentials tend to have a lot of respect during this bullish move in crypto. And I want to see, are we starting to lose key zones, at which point we need to draw ourselves back to higher time frames. And I would say so far the daily is starting to look relatively weak. If we were to draw some simple trend lines, we see that we did lose a significant trend line during one of the sell-offs that occurred last Sunday, I believe it was. And that breakthrough allowed for a reaction. We saw consolidation and a sort of equilibrium being formed where you have a high, a low, lower high, higher low. Things are getting tighter and tighter until at some point the scales tilt and you start to break through your key levels once again. Now, obviously, that reaction here around 51.5, that did break through based on some of the news yesterday. So we are starting to see that sell-off occur on the daily perspective. We also see the 9 and the 26 starting to cross. Overall, the momentum is looking more bearish on the daily chart. So what do? We look back to the weekly. We pull it back to the higher time frame and see, are we also starting to lose things on the weekly? And so far on the weekly, I'll go ahead and remove this trend line for now. We did lose the 9 exponential moving average. Unless Bitcoin retraces another 5 to 10% today, we will close below the 9 EMA. Now with that, we will look to what is an area of support on the weekly time frame. And what I'm scouting at the moment is we do have a notable high around 42,000. And we also have things like the 26 exponential moving average. Now, what do these moving averages have anything to do with, are they zones of support? And one thing you can always do when looking at a product and whether or not certain moving averages are respected is you can look back into past history and see how they're respected back in time. And what I've done for Bitcoin is I've gone back to some of the earliest price levels that we've had. And I've seen some of the reactions during moments of strong bullish breakouts and strong retracements. Our first one in history occurred here, where Bitcoin went from roughly $1.50 to about $32. We had multiple months of consolidation below 32, and then we had a breakout. on this breakout, I wanted to see, is this respecting some of these moving averages, especially in times of volatility? And I would say that on some of these breakdowns, we are hitting the 26 and we are inflecting off of it. So, first example, moment of volatility against the trend, and we are hitting some moving averages and respecting them from an inflection point of view. So notable case there, strike one for the 26, or not strike one, I guess check one for the 26. We are holding here, another bullish breakout. We're seeing the 9 get respected on moments of volatility, notable. And then we're seeing a pull down to the 26, little bit of respect, and then an overall sell-off. So moments of volatility, maybe not as clear, but the 9 is showing respect. Move it forward in time, continue. Okay, another breakout of all-time highs, big run-up. This is the 2017 run-up, one of the most, I would say, relevant run-ups, as it had multiple cycles in this run-up. So moment of volatility, we see the 9 get respected on the weekly, and we see the 26 get respected. Once again, another indication that this moving average may be a good indicator for us to use. Moment of volatility, we did not lose the 26, but we also didn't see the 9 get respected on the weekly time frame. So overall, a bit of a choppy reaction. And then moment of volatility, once again, the 9 getting respected. And that respect led to the final move in Bitcoin, which led to, that all-time high that occurred in 2017. Now, on the way back down, we do see that the 26 does get respected one more time. That ultimately leads to that multi-year consolidation period that we just came from. So overall, I'm looking at the Bitcoin chart now, and I'm seeing that the daily is starting to turn a little bit more to the downside. The daily is not showing the same structure as it did in the past. And when I look at the weekly, I need to see, if the weekly is to be respected, where can I expect some reaction to occur? And will it occur at a horizontal support, or will it occur at some sort of dynamic, slanted, or moving average support? So when I'm reviewing the weekly and seeing Bitcoin start to pull back, ultimately I'm looking at the 26 on the weekly and the 42,000 level as areas of interest. If we sell off that hard and we go down that far, I would expect a reaction there. And that's simply based on previous history of periods of volatility in Bitcoin and reactions that occur around those areas, both previous resistance, turn support, and also the 26 EMA. So Bitcoin, interesting. Volatility is definitely kicking in. I would say from a day trading perspective, Bitcoin may offer multiple sessions of both up and down price action as the market attempts to consolidate or hold some of these higher price ranges. But if we continue to sell off, definitely have a game plan in mind. If you're looking for a much more, I would say, like deeper support zone for a bounce. And also, if you're short, if you're able to short any of these products or some of the stocks, you would expect reactions at these support zones. And therefore, you maybe look to targets as opposed to maybe buying opportunities. So no matter which direction you're playing, you kind of need to have a game plan. Now that we're losing some daily support, does the weekly show any reason to consider getting out of potentially a short that you've started? Or if you're looking to get long, the weekly can be a great opportunity to maybe buy some of those dips, as we are still in a bullish uptrend on the weekly. So with that said, I think we have about 5 minutes left. Let's see, are there any questions that y'all have for me? I have a question about a video showcasing the Thinkorswim setup. The plan is to do a success webinar within the BBT community. So the answer is yes. I'll be showing how to get things set up, how to do some of this analysis, and why this analysis can matter inside of your larger term analysis of the markets or your intraday timeframes. Let's see, anything inside of the main chat? Can you look at the BTC volume profile? Yeah, we can actually do that next week. I want to get a sense of that before I bring it up, just to kind of understand how it works. Not every market is suitable for every indicator. So if the volume profile is one that isn't heavily respected in Bitcoin, then it may not be as relevant, and it may kind of signal a false indicator to use. Look at gold. I think gold overall is in that holding pattern. We're getting to the 20, we're getting to the 20 on the weekly, so that is notable. But on the daily, the structure here is that range breakout, and if we're just shooting for high to low and doubling of the range, I think gold has a little bit more upside before we see some significant resistance. Obviously, be looking to the left at all times, kind of see where to expect gold to inflect. There's a couple of zones here that you can start to target, but in this sort of open air space, we've already cleared this level. So I think, short term, the target to the upside is somewhere closer to about 1815. And that's pretty much just using the range as a guide to facilitate what the upside could look like. What's your trading setup? Most of the day trading is done in DOS. This is more for analysis, so it'll be very similar to other moderators in BBT with the trading setup. Let's see, Sarif, I'll answer that question in the chat. David, I am invested in crypto. It's just through an exchange, so I'll speak to that more in the chat. Jay on YouTube, anyway, do a quick analysis of the rug pull. Ultimately, when the market gets a strong catalyst, a lot of the previous levels can easily be broken. And when we look at the SPY, the idea is that the market is not pricing in that catalyst until it comes out. And overall, the reactions here, you want to be looking at things like the previous low. Market held for about 2 to 3 minutes on this reaction, fell through. Obviously, no longer an area of support. We start to get capitulation to the downside. We react strongly, and then we pull down even further. So, overall, the idea is that intraday, you have a morning range. You start to lose that morning range on the news as the market tries to price that in. You often will come to backtest that range. You can see that here as we come to backtest the morning lows, because we did break through them. We come back to retest them. And then ultimately the market's not willing to get back into that range. So we start to sell off harder. And that's really where, if you can be situated to where you catch the breakthrough, you can get a little bit of momentum, but you can also wait for the back test. And that back test to the morning lows allows for you to enter a position if you believe that the selling is just confirming that the upside range is no longer relevant. And therefore you get that, waterfall approach to the sell-off, leading to the actual low of the day. This would have been a great entry, even if you were late to the party, because you get a nice back test of the morning range, and that kind of defines your risk a little bit more clearly. All right, and I think that's pretty much it. So we'll go ahead and shift over to pre-market prep with Carlos and Norm. We'll start to look at some levels today. It is Friday, so keep in mind certain option series will start to expire today, a little bit of rolling, maybe some pinning action at certain price levels. But we do have this cloud of catalyst news, and therefore, let's see if the market starts to lose more key levels today. We'll start to see if we lose that balance zone in the SPY and the Qs as well. So take it easy, trade safe, come back Monday morning fresh, and start to see how the market's starting to respond and whether this news has already been priced in as of yesterday's session. So take it easy, trade safe.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope everyone is having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing today? Oh, I cannot hear you. Is it on my end?
No, it's me. Good morning,
Okay,
buddy. I'm
there we
doing
go.
great. How are you? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, brother. Doing good, man. Doing good. Feeling good.
You
Can't
feeling
complain.
better? You're
I
back
feel
to
alive.
normal?
I feel alive.
Nice.
Yes. There was some concerns. People thought I had COVID or something like that, but no, I did not have COVID. It's just a really, really bad cold. Started with my daughter. My wife got it. I got it, and it's just been a mess. But back to normal. Still feel it a little bit, but all good. All right, guys, let's get to it. Let's see what we had on our list yesterday. First, before we do that, let's give Jared a big thumbs up, guys, for his
Yeah, hit those likes for Jared.
engineering the markets every single morning starting at 8 a.m. If you missed it, you can catch him on Monday again throughout the entire week at 8 a.m. in the morning, so Eastern time. All right, let's get to it, guys. Our list yesterday, we had a bunch of stuff here that did not look great to start the morning. And we saw that some of the pre-market action was weird, and we did get a weird type of day for a lot of the stuff that was opening up. Here's FSR, guys, very active. This sell down here nicely, great continuation. It looked like it was going to hold this pre-market level here at 1358, but that failed. As you can see here, just continuing down to another level down here. I believe this might have been the low of yesterday. Either way, it does recover nicely, does a V reversal back to VWAP, another opportunity here to get long once it goes back up above VWAP. But here, I was watching this closely, man. The volume in the price section was nasty. It was not clean. It seems like the volume was very low, so this to be able to get into a pop like this was not easy. And then it just took off. Like just volume just came in and went towards the high of the day, ripped through that, and then just continued. So again, just a little bit strange to get into this type of play, but definitely very active yesterday. And this is kind of what we're saying about FSR. It could be weird the way it trades at times. So that we definitely saw that yesterday before this breakout. Later in the day, you get a little bit of a sell down back towards the VWAP. So again, not pretty much going on it after this pop here. Next, we have SKLZ. This one was a short the entire day. Very strong pre-market action. And at the open, it just completely collapsed. I actually thought that because stocks tend to do this when they're strong. They sell down like this, they pop back up, and they can shoot up, right? Some profit taking. This one did that, and it just slammed right back down, guys. So it completely lost it here, heading down to some levels towards the bottom down here. So again, great short there. BNGO was all over the place. Again, I didn't really watch the price action after this back and forth action. And I know BNGO can be a little tricky at times to trade. So again, just didn't do a whole lot. But again, short for the entire day, holding on to the 9 and the 20. CAN, let's talk about Bitcoin a little bit. And I know Jared touched on this a lot. It's just getting slammed the last couple of days. Well, not the last couple of days. Well, actually, no, the last couple of days, right? I think it's been down from 600 last week.
65,000.
Yeah, 65,000, correct. CAN did get a drop, not as much as some other ones. I know Mara. Where's Mara? I know Mara took a hit, and they're down today as well. Yeah, look at Mara yesterday, guys. It tried to recover, and then once the SPY sold off a little bit towards the later part of the day, we saw that with some tax news there or alerts. You can see here that just a drop on Mara, the SPY. A lot of things took a very big hit, but Bitcoin down significantly this morning. Here is Plug. Let's go back here again. Plug was okay. I didn't really like Plug anyway. It was a little choppy. I didn't really see anything great here. Fuel Cell was interesting, did pop up, and then later again this sell-off at around 1 o'clock as well one more time. For the most part, a little choppy in these areas. Just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen next. American Airlines, beautiful drop, beautiful opening range breakdown on the 5-minute. A lot of us took this for sure in the chat room. I believe Brian, I'm not sure if Brian took it, but he was one that called it out. I'm not sure if he actually took the trade on the sell down here. And American Airlines that sold off real nice. And again, we got this choppy area between 10:30 and about 1 o'clock until things started dropping again with the SPY as well. So pretty interesting stuff. TDC, I know we had this on the list yesterday. This was gapped up huge, but the price action was really all over the place. So I moved this down as a possible. It wasn't clean to trade this one. The spread was still nasty at the open. So this is what we kind of talked about with these type of stocks that gap up so much like that are not great intraday trading stocks. So that's what we had, guys. Let's take a look at our overall market and what can we expect as we finish off this week.
Yeah, man, although we're a little bit green, as you said, we had that tax news, specifically capital gains tax stuff that leaked out of Bloomberg yesterday. So market took a bit of a hit, and although opening up this morning a little bit, although we're green as of now on SPY and Qs, they're trying to lose it appears, and looking pretty weak. So we've got some flash PMI numbers at 945 and the new home sales at 10. We'll see what impact the potential tax situation has on the markets. It's aimed at very wealthy individuals, capital gains, but it's why cryptos are getting hit, because people in those, they might be looking to bail before any of that takes effect, if it looks like there's a chance that could happen. So we shall see.
We definitely shall see. It's going to be very interesting how things end up today, and more importantly, how they go next week, right? So we'll see if they're finding support here back to 60 or what's going to happen there. It's going to be interesting. All right, guys, let's get to it. Let's get into our list here. We'll remove everything from yesterday. We'll do some fresh rows, and we'll see what we have on deck here. So starting with gapping up this morning, a pretty decent list on both sides. Let me make sure this is live. Yeah, it is live. So not bad for a gap up and gap down list this morning. OCGN leading the way here. It is up 10.3 this morning. Huge pop yesterday, as you can see here, from 7. I did not have this on my list. How did that trade? Looks like the big move was later in the day, so not a whole lot of action in the morning and throughout the entire day, but later in the day you can see here the pop, the volume just coming in on OCGN. Possible continuation today. They already have 10 million shares traded, so gonna add this one on here. Could be interesting for today. OCGN, we'll throw that one on there as well. Also, it was active the day before. I know we also had a gap up, a nice gap up on this as well. Didn't do a whole lot, but yesterday definitely ran pretty nice. SKLZ, this one has been very active the last couple of days. Let's remove some levels here. Right now they're up 6.3. Again, they didn't trade all that great yesterday. At least for me, didn't. 1.6 million right now. We'll come back to it. SKLZ. Now let's come back to that one. Envis. Oh, this is Brian did incredible on this one. He had it on his list. I'm not sure if Thor also took this trade, but he took a nice little breakout here for a scalp towards the top and took some profits off here before it collapsed. So pretty nice trade for him there. Envis this morning, and this one is not an easy stock to trade, by the way. You can see here these these candles on the 5-minute, you got to be very quick, in and out very fast, because it can turn pretty quickly here. Right now, pre-market action is not looking great. They are up another 6% this morning. It's okay. It's okay. I don't really like it as much, but we'll see. Come back to that one. Here is Snap. We have some volume today, 373,000 shares traded right now. Pre-market action is not looking great, but this gap up looks interesting. Their daily also looks interesting. They bounced off an area of support that they had in the past here on the daily. This could be exciting. Is there any news on Snap? Anything that we should be looking forward to? We'll put it on here for now. Let's see what's happening there. I know when they have news, it can trade very, very well. Earnings, Dan is saying.
They had earnings last night. Sorry, I'm muted because there's some guys with power equipment outside, and I'm trying not for the background noise. But yeah, they had earnings last night.
Gotcha. All right, so earnings last night on Snap, up 5.3 today. Let's definitely keep an eye on that one. And KLA this morning, they are up 4.5. Let's see how they did yesterday. Yesterday seemed the end of the day green. Big move in the morning here. Look at this. It's nice reversal. It just took off. Wow. So a big pop for them this yesterday morning. Today they're up another 5% with some okay volume. I'm going to put it as a possible. Let's see if we can get any type of second day continuation on NKLA here. TIGR today, they are not doing a whole lot, and their daily is horrible too, just chopping around, every candle overlapping the previous candle. I don't see anything great here. I don't expect anything to look good today. Yesterday, they had some movement in here without seeing the price action. Hard to tell how clean that was, but yeah, I don't like this daily here at the moment. BNGO, again, we had this one on the list yesterday. Today they're not looking all that great. 437,000 up 2.5. I think we could find something better. Let's hope. All right, so gapping down this morning, INO is leading the way here, down 30%. Unfortunately, we don't have no shares to short on this one, but this is down pretty big, 3.8 million shares traded. So definitely in play. I'm going to put it as a possible because we don't have the shares to short. But yeah, something's up with that one. They're definitely someone is getting fired. Someone messed up. So I'm not sure what the catalyst is on this one. They haven't been doing much the last couple of weeks here, just kind of chopping around here, and big drop this morning. Let's take a look here. What else? Mara. All right, so here's the rest of this Bitcoin. Mara, Riot, CAN, all three of them on the Bitcoin news. And then INTC this morning is also here gapping down 2.7. That could be interesting. Definitely going to add INTC here. They usually gap down on news. So what did they have? Oh, earnings. I see here. After hours earnings, 22nd was yesterday. Yes. So
yeah, they had earnings last night as well.
Let's see what's the deal with INTC this morning. Looking pretty good on the gap down, losing in great area of support and resistance, right? This 62.27, which is a previous day close. You can see that was a good area of resistance, then became support. We're losing that now. But you know what? On the daily, though, we're kind of slamming into another area of support. Around 60, what's this, 66, right where the price action is at, a little bit lower, 60, 62 or so. You can see here the ping pong action back and forth between the previous day close and this level now, which is your low of your pre-market, kind of. Well, not really. Low of pre-market is all the way. Oh, no, never mind. Take that back. This is yesterday's action, excuse me. So yes, it could be the low of the pre-market pretty soon here. So INTC is good. Let's keep an eye on that. Now let's go back to this Bitcoin stuff. We have Mara on here. Good volume, 1.2 million shares traded right now. They're down 3.7. They climbed up a lot though. Their low was all the way down here at 2709. They're trying to get green here, looks like. So they were down at least probably 7 or 8% here, maybe more. Yeah, so this is looking good. Bouncing back a little bit here. Riot is looking okay as well. I think both of them are looking good. CAN didn't sell down as much, looks like, because again, they've been pretty beat up. Yeah, I think we can add these guys. I'm going to add over here Mara. I think they got the great volume today. I'm going to add Riot as a possible. I don't want to make my whole entire list of Bitcoin. And I'm going to put CAN as a possible because, again, that's the news right now. Riot has great volume too. So between Riot and Mara, they both look really good. We can actually keep both of them on here. So, yeah, you know what? Could be a Bitcoin type of day today. Norm, what do you like this morning? We actually went through our entire list on both sides. We have a few more here. CHPT. This one we traded in the past. It was okay. And we have AMC popping up here as well, which, again, I don't see anything great on AMC neither. And the volume for the way this thing trades now is very, very low. at a 283.
I'm still looking, brother. So let's throw it to the room and see if anybody's got anything interesting.
All right, excellent. Let's take a look here. Let's start with Matt. I'm sorry, not Matt. Hamish. He's giving us Matt. Let's see here. Matt is it is up 6.6. Well, not a whole lot of volume. I see what you're looking at. It's nice, beautiful pop up today. And Matt doesn't really trade all that well. And that's my concerning thing with this one. And you can see it too on the daily, how light the volume is and how these candles don't look all that great. They're kind of overlapping each other. One. It doesn't look foreign. You don't have those big gap ups and down, but man, it doesn't look great though. So I'm not seeing anything great right now on this one, so I'm gonna pass on that one. Robbie G is giving us Neo. Let's see what's going on there. Neo had a great day 2 days ago. Real nice pop here. Their daily does look interesting, right? We've been talking about this Neo going one way or the other as it's winding down to some kind of point here. Yeah, let's keep an eye on Neo. I think Neo looks good. How's the volume on Neo? Let's take a look here. They 1.7. Yeah, that's great volume for Neo. I definitely want to keep an eye on this one. David from Connecticut is giving us SKX. What do we have here? XKX popping up nicely here. What's the news on XKX? Earnings last night. Wait to see what it does. Not too far from all-time high back in 2015. Thank you for that. So yeah, this again, I see what you're looking at for a possible play here. The volume is not quite there right now, but this SKX, what company is this?
Skechers.
Skechers. Oh, okay. All right. So the volume is light though. That's my concern on this one. But I do like the gap up. I like stuff like this when they gap up to lose it. Who knows? Let's see. We'll keep it as a possible for now. Fabio is giving us a Neo. We have that already. NKLA. I think we looked at that. We have that as a possible, so that's good. Ross is giving us SQ. Let's see what we have here. SQ is tough to trade, and now that it's above 150, it's even harder to trade, at least for me. So I don't really watch it, guys. I'm not sure if there's any news or catalyst behind it. I know they're involved in some Bitcoin stuff too, so they might be taking a hit because of that, right? I think they're in that space as well. But again, I think if you want to play that space, Mara, Riot, these are your go-tos right now. I don't know if SQ could be a great trade for that at the moment. Neo is good. We have that on deck. Let's head down here. What do we have? All right, good. Okay, cool. Let's take a look over on our YouTube chat, guys. What do you guys have this morning? CHPT, yeah, we did look at that. That was on our gappers list. But last time we had it on here, I had a good trade on it, but it doesn't trade very well. Again, they're getting a little bit of a bounce here. They are involved with the EV stuff. As you can see, Neo is up. So these guys are up as well. It could be interesting. If the EVs run, could be interesting. But again, I prefer, I think they're battery or something. I prefer a Neo with the volume they're getting today. IBKR doesn't trade well. It's just that's not a great intraday trading stock. It doesn't get great volume. They have a great service that we take advantage of here, but yeah, they don't trade well. BTX. No, this doesn't look good, guys. What company is this, by the way? BTX, recent IPO. They are Brooklyn Immuno Therapeutics.
Biotech.
Yeah, biotech company. It's not looking good. Tesla. Let's take a look at Tesla. Yeah, Tesla should be in play. I see a lot of EVs very active this morning. Tesla's volume is very light. I would think they will be running up here with alongside Neo and some of these other EV companies are up this morning, but not really. So interesting. We'll put it as a possible. We'll come back to it. American Airlines had a nice drop yesterday into the open, and also the entire day just ended up red. This morning, not a whole lot of volume. Remember, yesterday we saw very good volume here, but it could be interesting. We're slamming up against an area of possible support, right? We got a bounce in here last time we held that. We've been trying to hold this previous day close for the last 3 trading days, so we keep coming right back to it. Could be very interesting. Let's put a travel company in here. I do like American Airlines on the daily. What I do not like is the volume is a little bit lighter. Let's see if that's going to pick up. This morning, AXP. How much time we have? 8:50. All right.
Yeah,
AXP. Let's see.
Had earnings this morning.
AXP. Wow, nice drop. 5% right now. Daily's a little bit all over the place. Volume is light. What is the float on this? AXP.
Huge. It's American Express.
Oh, okay. This is why. So again, these huge low floats, 802 million. They tend not to be great intraday trading tickers. So I'm going to skip on this one. Again, it all depends how you trade. Also, be careful on the number of shares. This thing is moving $1, $2 easily. The spread is actually not bad right now for the type of stock that it is, but still be very careful. CHPT we looked at, OCGN we have, NEO we have, SPYR. What do we have here? Ooh, no, this is horrible. This is definition of something you should not trade. Yeah, this is not good.
What are
You
all
know,
those wicks, my
yeah,
lord?
I mean, say the trader. I hope you're joking, right? This is a joke. Please tell me. Just send me a LOL or a funny face over on YouTube. I mean, you're not. I hope you're not seriously thinking about trading this the way we trade at least, right? So
Oh, I didn't realize that's a 20-cent stock. I'm not pulling it up on my screen. I'm just looking at yours, and
yeah, no, it's 20 cents given
no,
too much. It's at 12
done.
cents right now. BTX we did look at, guys. Doesn't look good. mRNA.
SYPR. Is that what I think? Maybe okay. I think you might have spelled it wrong. SYPR is what
SYPR.
Jarrett's saying. Yeah.
Oh, no, I spelled it right. They spelled it wrong. SYPR. Okay, let me see here. This could look better. I mean, I think anything could look better than what we just saw. SYPR. Okay, yeah, this is a little more decent. It's gapping up. Still not the type of stock that I like to trade. I mean, just look at the daily on this, guys. I mean, I'm just not comfortable with this. Also, more on the lower price stock here. SYPR. It's got great volume, up 30%. The float is 11. So for low float, actually, it's not bad. Low float is not bad because you can't expect a great daily on low flow stocks for the most part. But the action does look okay this morning. The pre-market, they got great volume. They just have to hold here. If they keep dropping like this, it doesn't become no fun for us. They need to find some kind of a base here, some kind of support, and then we need to see that volume coming in, pushing this up higher. If it just starts to drip down here to 3, there's not much we could do here. I don't have shares for sure anyways. Not that I would be shorting a low flow stock. That's some scary business there. All right, IBK, we looked at that. NCLH, let's see some of these travel companies. We'll do a few more. NCLH this morning, yeah, interesting. I mean, volume is light though. Yeah, volume is just too light right now for NCLH. Let's take a look at CCL, see if anything's trickling down there. Now, also very light. I don't think they are in play this morning. In our chat room, yes, NKLA we do have on our list as a possible. That looks good, up 4.8. It's got some great volume. Had a great day yesterday and the day before too, getting a little bit of a bounce. They've been very, very heavily oversold. They haven't been doing well. But just look at the volume yesterday, 82 million, when they've just been sitting around 20 or so. So that's interesting. All right, Apple. This morning, again, just a beautiful consolidation on Apple on the daily, guys. I do like what I'm seeing here. I don't think they are in play today, but just if you look at this consolidation, Apple will be a good one to watch, just to keep an eye on, right? To see how it ends the day, how it starts the day, and just look out for the next possible play here, whether it's going to be towards the bottom, heading towards some of these areas of resistance that can now become support, or towards the top, breaking out of this area and over towards some.
I'll likely have Apple on my list because it's a proxy
Yeah.
for the market to see how much of a hit we take on this tax news if it keeps coming.
That's a good
So
point.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Peter uses AMD for that.
Mhm.
I use Apple for that. So
I agree. Sometimes people look at the SPY, and if the SPY is moving heavily in one direction, Apple is a great one to go to. All right, guys, let's stop here. Let's go over to our community announcement. I think we had a pretty decent list for today. Let's see what we have going on for our community.
All right, guys. Peter and Andrew's webinar is posted for your viewing pleasure in case you were not able to see it live on Tuesday. Eamon is going to be doing part 2 of his parabolic reversal series. That's going to be next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, special time because of his time zone. Nada's webinar is posted, and next week we've got a town hall format with Dr. Katz Wednesday, 8 p.m. That's going to be 2 traders from Bear Bull Traders and him discussing psychological issues and kind of in a roundtable discussion with them as the rest of the group looks on, asks questions and such. So looking forward to that. If you're looking to participate in the member trade of the day, trade of the week, take a screenshot of your best trade of the day. Of course, have entries and exits on it. And then any commentary you can add to describe the strategy and the trade itself. Post it on Twitter, tagging at Bear Bull Traders, at MikeB_BBT, and at NormBBT. Also use the hashtags BBT Family, Day Trading, and Stock Market. We will announce the winner for each day on Twitter, and then the team votes on all the trades of the day from the week. And that winner is for Trade of the Week is announced on Monday on Twitter. If you are watching on YouTube and haven't been in the chat, you can do so at a discount. Use the promo code PREMARKET24. That'll get you a discount off the test drive, which is 7 calendar days, 5 trading days in the room. Also gives you access to the onboarding classes that are live every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you're looking to either become a member or upgrade your membership to Elite, you can still use the promo code SPRING40 to get 40% off the annual Elite membership.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Norm, for that. All right, guys, let's get to it. Let's fine-tune this list this morning, starting with OCGN. So we have this one on our list. Looks good, guys. Very active. 12.5 million shares traded. Had a great day yesterday. As you can see here, towards the end is when the volume came in and it shot up pretty nice here. So it doesn't look like it had a bad morning neither. So you did get a little bit of a pop here, but then the rest of the day is just kind of chopping around. So we'll have to see. Again, very active this morning, giving a little bit back right now, but still up 6%. So we'll take a look at that. I think Snap is decent. Maybe not a, maybe more of a possible, I believe, on Snap. We'll have to see if it's really going to take off here. So I'm going to bring it down. You know what? I'm on the fence on it. Let's keep it here for now. Let's keep it there for now. INTC is good. I think we have to see how this is going to play out. Nice gap down this morning, losing this great level of support. So we'll keep that one. I think Mara is great. Just keep an eye on what the Bitcoin stuff is doing here. Maybe we'll bring down Riot just to fine tune this list a little bit. I think Riot is also in play. You could take whichever one you like. Either one of those are really good. I think CAN has a little bit lighter volume, but still looks to be in play here, but not as good as Riot and Mara. As I see it, but Mara is good. We'll keep that one. Neo looks good right now, guys. Great volume, 1.8. Although the pre-market, though we have this great volume, I'm just noticing now this one candle here has everything. 1.3 million just right on here. So volume is great, but it's not really a great pre-market action. So let's see. Was this Thor? Did Thor buy this here? This probably was Thor there, messing things up there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. If it breaks out. Here's American Airlines, guys. This is looking okay, not great. I don't think it's really in play. So we'll have to see. All right, let's do some levels here. OCGN, let's start there. High of the pre-market over at a 10.98. Towards the bottom, you have the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Above this, you do have 11.98. That's a good one there. And obviously all the way up here, nice level here of 13.93. So you know this thing has the juice. It did it yesterday. Popped up from 7 all the way to 950. So when it gets to volume, it does trade very well. This move started a little bit, looks like 2 days ago. Right on, he got a nice gap up, sold off, came back up, and then yesterday you had to take off nicely here. So let's see if it's going to hold. Kind of heading back here, giving some back this morning. Let's see if we're going to find some kind of support and get going here. So that looks good. Here is Snap. Snap, high of the pre-market, 60.80. Again, I don't think it's really in play right now, but we'll have to see how it opens up. Next level here, we have 65.12. This level's coming from over here as well. But you know what? This one here, guys, I'm going to mark this down too, because right over here, 63.66, you do have a lot of days opening and closing right on there. Also, if you go back where you did this high here at 65.12, in here also a lot of days opening and closing right on that area as well. So that looks pretty good. Towards the bottom, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days got you covered on Snap. So let's see what is going to take place here for this morning. Here's INTC, guys. Again, I do like the drop we're getting here. We're losing this level 60.62. High of the pre-market 61.36 at the moment. I'm still going to leave this level right on here, this 60.62. I'm going to leave that on there because you got a lot of touches on there. Let's see what happens if we continue to drop here. Towards the bottom, probably over here. I like this one, 59.27, because you do have great resistance before we had this beautiful breakout. So you see that this date here, that's nice. And then we had a great retest of that as support coming down on this day here, then shooting back up. So 59.27 is good. It's a good one. You could have something in between here. You got a couple of days bouncing off 59.89, 1, 2, 3, and also this one opening up there and slamming down. So we'll see. Let's see what happens here on INTC. I do like the pre-market action right now on it. It is down 3.2 on, I believe it was earnings, right? INTC, earnings last night. Yes, perfect. Here's Mara. Again, Bitcoin is definitely in play, guys. I like Mara this morning. They're down 5.4. Short selling restriction on this one. But we still have shares for short. Just got to get filled in on an uptick. 2420, great level of support here. Also prior resistance, great resistance here before we had the breakout back in February. Let's see how Bitcoin is going to do this morning. And above that, above the price action, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. We lost this great area of support here, if you see that, the last 3 days. And let's see it just slamming down below that. Great pre-market action and also great volume, 1.3 Mara today. So again, going back to NEO, we got great volume. We're up 1% right now, but again, just the pre-market it's all in this candle right here. So if without this candle, you take this out, and NEO is not really in play, and the volume is not even in play for what we see out of this stock. So we'll keep an eye on it. Here, 40.12 high of the pre-market right now. Above that, we do have 42.09. Great area of support and resistance across the board there. Slightly above here, maybe somewhere in here. Yeah, I like this one here, 44.40. You can see here an area of resistance. A lot of these opening and closing around that area as well. Then all the way up here, you have 46.16. I don't think we're going to put in that type of move for a Friday, but we'll have to wait and see. Towards the bottom, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days on NEO. American Airlines, I don't think it's really in play, guys. I'm going to take it off my list. Looking at it now, it just still doesn't have great volume. We'll have to see how the market is going to play, but I think it's really not in play. So let's take it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5. Let's look at our possibles. Riot, let's keep Riot in mind as we're looking at Mara, or if you have it vice versa, just keep those 2 in check. CAN is another one, but I don't think CAN is looking all that good, so I'm going to remove it from my list. INO is just a huge drop here. Recovering a little bit off the 620 right on there, down 28%. This is definitely in play, guys. I only have it as a possible because I do not have shares for short with Interactive Brokers. So I have it there as a possible for now. But if we can get, again, this is very extended towards the downside. If we can get any type of strong move here, it could be a good possible short play for a quick pop, maybe a scalping play towards the top. So we'll still keep an eye on it. NKLA, it's looking okay. SKLZ, I don't like what I'm seeing. I'm just going to remove this one for now. Hopefully some moderators are watching this one and they can call it out. No, nobody's watching this one because it just doesn't look good. So we'll take that one off. NVIS, I mean, it was great yesterday for a quick pop. I don't see anything good right now, guys, to be honest. So let's get rid of it. Let's get rid of this one. It's Friday. We want to have a very tight list. SKX moving here a little bit, up 11.8 now. About to crack that 100,000. So this could be interesting. Maybe this will be our sleeper for today. Let's put that on here. Usually we do not watch this type of stock, but today they've definitely got it going on. Low of the pre-market, 48.34. The high of the pre-market is going to get created right now, but I am going to mark down this level here because in the pre-market, although we didn't have great volume, you can see the struggle trying to get above that. The minute we got above that, we got a nice little pop here, some volume coming in. So 49.22, let's mark that there. If we go back over here, I know we're nearing all-time highs, but I think you said 2015, right, David? So I'm not going to go back that far, but I'll just put these levels on here for now. Let's look at what else we have. So we left off here. Let's get it off our possibles list. CHPT, EV company, not looking any better. Let's get rid of it. Tesla wasn't looking great as far as volume, but it started to pick up though. You can see this pre-market action does look nice, so we'll keep an eye on that one. And we do have Apple here again. Apple's always a good one, as Norm mentioned, to just keep an eye on. I think Hader this week, in our YouTube member there, he also mentioned that if we're going to keep this one every day on the list, and yeah, I think we will. I think Apple's a good one to have even as a secondary, especially the way this market is trading. Okay, perfect. This is what we have. Let's take a look at our moderators lineup and see what we have today. So right over here, let's bring this over, resize this so it can fit on our screens. Oh, messed that up. Bring it there. All right, here we go. Okay, beautiful. So what do we have here? We have, starting with Thor, he's watching NEO, Snap, INTC, NKLA. Dima, she has NEO, NKLA, OCGN, Snap. Peter, he has IPOs actually, AGTI, TMCI, Swim, Rain, and Implied. I guess did they cut off the words here, but some really interesting names there on IPOs this morning. Peter's watch list, Mara, OCGN, Snap, secondary list, AXP, HON, INO, and also NKLA for him this morning. Tiffany, Snap, Mara, INTC. Jared's looking at NEO and Tesla today. NEO at 40, Tesla at 700/750. INTC and BTC plays some of the stuff there from the Bitcoins. Secondary list NKLA and also HYLN. Mike is looking at Tesla and Apple this morning. So that is your list, guys. Again, it's okay today. It's not great, but it wasn't great yesterday. We had a couple of opportunities there. OCGen continues to head down here. They might want to go red this morning. I mean, they were up very, very nice here, 7-10%. Now they're only up 4%, and dropping very fast here with some really, really good volume. A shame we don't have shares for short on this one. Snap is trying to snap here, trying to get going. INTC is good, very active right now. Mara's great volume, good pre-market action, stalling a little bit here. Neo's taking off here. There we go. So Neo's trying to break out of this pre-market high right now. I'm still going to keep this level on the pre-market high here. Let's see what it does there. We do have the high of yesterday coming up, so we'll see how that turns out. And SKX trying to get above this 49.22 and trying to stay there. Let's see if it can hold that that level. All right, that is what we have, guys. We are a little bit early. Any questions? Anything we can answer for you guys? Corey, for new traders, can you explain briefly having to buy on an uptick with SSR? All right, yeah, we could explain that. So basically, let's take a stock that's an SSR. I think it's Mara, right? Here we go. So Mara. So what happens is, usually when we enter a trade, we buy on the bid, right? We want to enter on the bid, or in this case, short. You want to enter on the bid and get filled immediately, right? You hit the bid right away and get filled immediately. In this case, you cannot do that. When it's on SSR, you have to sit on the ask, right? And now you have to wait for the price to move up and come to you for you to get filled, right? So anytime you see this SSR, I'm not sure if you guys can see this up here. This SSR, that's what that means. That means that you cannot just hit the bid and get in immediately on a market order. You can enter an order on the ask. You sit here at 29.32. When the price comes up and fills you, then you get in for that order. So only limit orders can get filled. Correct. Sometimes with interactive brokers, I'll send the hotkey, and you have a I do the ask, the bid plus 5, I think it is, and you might get filled. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it'll just sit there. It doesn't work with CMEG, but with interactive brokers, it'll sit there on the limit and then it'll get filled. But CMEG is different, guys. CMEG, when you do it on CMEG, it just gets rejected or something. So don't try that on CMEG.
IB adjusts for it, but it's sitting there because people are continuously selling at that level. You can get out of the stock. If you own it, you can sell it, but you can't take a short position in it until there's an uptick. So it's letting people get out of the stock orderly. And if they're just sell, that's why your order is sitting there as pending until it gets an uptick and it can fill.
Yep. When am I going to trade live? You know what? When I take off from the pre-market show, maybe Norm, me and you could trade live. Have Thor and Brian do the pre-market show. We'll go trade live. Maybe we'll do that one day. Switch it up a little bit. After this show, guys, me and Norm, I actually go have breakfast after this, and I listen to Thor and Andrew and Brian. But yeah, we're up pretty early. All right, what else, guys? Any other questions we can answer? We got a couple of minutes here. It's a great time to take care of a few things.
Well, first of all, don't spam the chat on YouTube, Hotmast. One, market replay is essentially just like a recorded version of all the things going on in the market. You can trade it after hours.
Yep. It's a great way to
in
practice.
Simulator.
So David, all-time high on SKX is 54.53. All right, let me mark that down. 54.53. Oh, it's all the way up there. All right, so I'm not gonna be too worried about that. But thank you for that. All right, we'll see if this thing can get going here. All right, what else do we have? My favorite play is the opening range breakdown on the 5-minute. But again, you gotta be careful with it, because some days it works great. Not some days. Some months it works great. Other months it doesn't work great at all. Now what I like a lot now is the breakouts. I'm starting to like these breakouts a lot from the daily levels. That's working out well. But ORB is my favorite by far. Norm, how about yours?
Say that again. I'm sorry. I'm monitoring the chat over here.
Yeah, I see you're sending messages there. What is your favorite trade plays or strategy?
I don't know that I have a favorite. I like whatever makes money that day.
Man, that's better than mine. That's for sure. That is for sure.
I mean, I focus on opening range stuff and reversals.
Yeah.
We could break it down further, but not in the time we have here.
Okay, so we get
I like the
that.
finger to finger strategy.
Oh, that's the best one. I still have to learn that one. It's a little difficult, but I'm working on the finger to finger thing. So we get this question a lot, am I looking at Mara for a short, or am I looking at something else for a short or a long? And to be honest, I don't know. I don't know into the open. Now, for example, there's sometimes where I see things, man, this looks good for a short because if I look at the daily, it can keep running and I would like it to lose that level. But I really don't know. Mara right now is down 5.6. This could be a great long. It depends on how Bitcoin is going to react, how the market is going to react. It depends on so many things. So before that bell rings, I'm not really looking at something long or short, or even if I was going to trade in the pre-market, I wouldn't be looking at this long or short. I'll have to see where the price action is going, right? That's king. What is the price action doing? How are the candles being built?
Yeah.
And then you make a decision with with the best information you have and your indicators. So, but yeah, we get that question a lot. Oh, we're going short, we're going long. We don't know. We really don't know. All right, guys. 9:10. I think we might just call it here, guys. Have an amazing weekend over on YouTube. We're going to continue on our chat as Brian and Andrew come up and they go over their watches, what they like this morning. We got a couple of more moderators. Oh, Eamon's with his list. Doesn't like much this morning, but or he's trying to trade without having a bias. But his watch list: Microsoft, BP, and NEO. Secondary list: BNGO, PFE, and BA this morning for him. So that's what we have, guys. Recap: OCGN continues to drop here. I think it's going to go red. It's only up 2% now after being up almost 10. Snap is slowly Snap is looking good now. Look at the volume coming in, 975, creeping up nicely here. INTC continues to lose it here, so that's good as well. I think we got a pretty nice list so far. Mara could be interesting. We'll have to see where that's going to take us. NEO is good, great volume, starting to pick up a little more. And SKX could be our sleeper for today. This does not look good. I normally would not keep XKX on our list, but I like this gap up. Let's see how that is going to play out this morning. So, guys, have an amazing Friday. Have an amazing weekend. Trade safe today. Be patient. Again, this market is a little bit different than what we've been used to. You could see things slow down a little bit now. We're getting a little bit of a pullback. Just be careful with your trades. Be very, very focused on looking at that trade book and making sure that things match what you're looking at. And in times like this, I do not like to go for type C setups, right? Things that don't look very clear, don't take them because you might not get that continuation you're looking for. So trade safe, guys. Have a great weekend, and we will see you guys on Monday.
Take care, guys. Trade safe. Have a great